Yep. Yep. Y'all know what it is. Eagles Way Boxing with my loud garbage man. Decide, knowing that I'm not deep into a studio, coming over here to mess up everything. That's right. In here with the Eagle trying to get in trouble here. This music been getting me in trouble, but we'll see. yeah. Ah, know what it is. Eagle Wear Boxing. We in here on a Monday. Look like we streaming. You can't say nothing. If you streaming, you streaming. If we working, we working. I know sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't work. I don't know what it is, but sometimes we just don't. You know, we don't get that work like we need to get to work. When we come in, everything is haywire. But hey, we try to make it happen in here. Try to make it go down the way that we want it to go down. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna hold y'all today. No more 2 hour long, 3 hour long shows. I know y'all love it. But you get here late, and then that's what happens, is that I'm already done. But I really don't know, because you guys can flip the script on me and hold me hostage. I'm so easy, man, I'm so easy to take over because I don't care as much as like a lot of people care about stuff. I realized that this joke that's all it is. It's just a joke. And one day it just ends. It ends. Either you remember it about to end, or you don't. But it just ends. It's a joke. Because the way it's set up, you can only win when the majority doesn't play the game. When the majority stops playing the game, it ends. It ends. But the biggest question is, how does it end? That's the biggest question. How does it end? We know it ends, but how does it end when the masses does not play anymore? How does it end? Does it end well? We will see. I mean, we will never see. But the way it is now is nothing is supposed to last forever. But the way it is now, that with the morons that's coming into existence now, the game can go on forever. These people need a savior. Yeah. But the thing about it is, we will see. We're going to see. Not all of us. I mean, I won't be here probably. I mean, but because that's just how long. That's how many. That's just how many years it would take. So I know I won't be here. It would be very surprising, especially with the some kinds of the so-called awakening. You know what I mean? No, the awakening. You know, so I'll just leave it that way. The awakening. So when you wake up, you don't want to be woke up by a nightmare. So all these people that they're so supposedly woke, what the hell woke them up? I mean, you got a lot of things wake you up. Your cat can scratch you, or start licking on you, or your dog, or you can get woke up by a lot of different ways. My favorite way of being woke up, if there was a favorite way, probably, and somebody said, no, it ain't my favorite way, but I'm talking about me, would probably be like some nice music, to wake me up, like nice music that's coming into waking up with a nice little beat, like where I'm actually shaking my head to the music when I'm waking up. That's probably the best way to wake me up. All the other stuff you can wake me up with is probably it's gonna be drama somehow. It's gonna be something. It's gonna take a lot of energy, or it's gonna do something. But it don't take me no energy when I'm waking up. Like, oh shit, listen. Oh, okay, yeah. And I got my head bobbing like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're gonna get into boxing with you, all your fighters. Your fighters are bum. Uh, I want to start some trouble tonight. Yeah. So we'll start a little bit of trouble. So I want to start trouble with you guys. And one of the first things I'm doing is I'm just calling out you guys as fighters. Hey, you guys fighters is bums. So don't matter. So I got smoke. I got smoke for all of them. All these fighters is coming out. But they're all bums. Yeah. Everyone. No matter how long you've been in boxing, you're a bum. You're a freaking bum. All of them. Don't matter how good you are, you're a bum. I don't know. You guys allowed infiltration into your sport. Infiltrators. You don't have anybody that could do that with anything else. You know, nobody else can do that. You know, you can't just walk out on the football field. You used to be able to do that. But now you can't. You can't just walk out on the football field and just try. And then there were still rules to it. Or go walk out on there and just start playing basketball or something like that, or with just walk. You could do that only on a level like college level. You can have they call them walk-ons, but they're still not a walk-on. Yeah, you know what I mean. They're still not really walk-ons because they have to go out and have to try. They got to be known for something. They're gonna ask some questions. Where you went to school or something. They got to ask something. You just can't be a complete unknown. You have to do something. It's very rare, especially in a sport like for boxing. In a sport like boxing, nobody's, just coming from nowhere. Like, oh, no amateur fights, no nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, ends up being the best or something. That's like, now that would be something. That would be something. Now that would be something that I actually want to see. You know what I mean? There's something that I would watch, I would pay, because I'm like, wow, this guy just came from nowhere and he's doing, so great in this sport. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy, crazy, crazy for a sport like that. Well, there's a lot of sports that shit would never happen. Boxing is damn near, it's like an impossible sport to do something like that. In any of the pugilistic sports and martial arts and stuff like that, it's very hard to just walk on and then do whatever you want to do. D-Ray out here. D-Ray Promotions with the thumbs up. Even if you're a fighter. Is a bum. Yeah. It did. Yeah, so it don't matter what fighter you have. You can label them. I don't care if they my favorite, D-Ray. They could be my favorite person. You could be like, but Eagle, this is your fighter. He's a bum. I got to come up with these different storylines for these shows. So it's like, so you guys people shake their head like, oh shit, what is he doing now? Or what, and it's not always what it is. It's not always that, because I can bring a lot of smoke, but I don't have to. You see what I mean? I don't have to bring like a whole lot. Yeah. You see what I mean? So a lot of people think that what is he doing? I'm disturbing the force. I'm disturbing, boxing programs or whatever, or just talking. No. I just want to I want to bring out some points, and just to see, how the discussion goes, because that's all I really do is I discuss about it. I'm not really, you can't take all of it, serious. A lot of people take everything that I do and everything I say, they take it so seriously, but it's not always that. It doesn't have to be that serious. It doesn't have to be like totally serious all the time. And it's not. It's not like totally serious, all the time. It's just that we have to look at it at different perspective. We can't just like be on the boxing board of advisors, if you will. We don't have to be like that. Like everything's so serious. Oh, this got to be so serious. And I can tell you that if you was in a sport like that, and all of a sudden people just started coming into your sport, I don't care what you say, there's no way that you could still like take your sport as serious. You shouldn't take it that serious. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and nobody's questioning because of the culture today. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. My point is that nobody's questioning because of the new culture. The new cancel culture, all that crap is like, it's crazy. How this new culture is so accepting of everything. he said speaking fire of crazy eagle wearing boxing. Salute, fam. Yeah, salute, brother. Hey, you know what though, D-Ray? So, name me a sport where just somebody off the street can just take over the sport and that's it. And we just, and all the athletes and everybody just accepts it. Not only take over the sport, because see, the thing is, nobody never looked at this. You're not looking at it close enough, brother. You're not, and brothers and sisters and people, girls and guys, you're not looking at it close enough to see that you're taking over a sport. And let me see, like for instance, these Paul brothers. How are you getting pay-per-views when you got people like Keith Thurman and even Bud? All his fights ain't all pay-per-view. Earl Spence's, his fights is pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder, his fights are pay-per-view. Once he hit that status, it says all his fights are pay-per-view now. But how you just come from nowhere and all your fights are, how you coming in off the street 6-0, you have 6 fights and you pay-per-view. And I don't think he's had a fight that wasn't pay-per-view, right? Like you come into basketball and you got a $50 million a year contract, and and nobody ever seen you play basketball. You didn't go to college, and nobody can track you from high school or nothing like that. But you're making $50 million a year in basketball. $750,000 per game. Nothing wrong with that. Everything's okay. Is that okay? Everything's cool. Are we good with that? See, because people look at the fight, say, oh, they're not going to last. But look, he's coming over. See, we never talk about that they take over too much of the. It's not that you just take over the sport, but you're taking over spots like, you're pay-per-view worthy. I was just talking about Barrios like last week, and I was asking before the fight, I was asking everybody, I said, is Barrios, I said, is he, pay-per-view undercard worthy? I mean, and everybody's, whoever answered said yes. And I thought so. And then when I watched the fight, how he came out, he was on the front foot and fighting, I'm like, wow, this is a good, this is a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's good enough to be. He can work his way back up to be a fighter that we want to see, and pay for the main event a um, as a professional fighter. But right now, we know he has to work his way back because coming off of 2 losses. You see, when you come off of losses, then you have to come back. So Keith Thurman came off of just 1 loss, and he got the W. So there's no problem. There's no problem about that if you just lose one, because everybody, you can't be worrying about your O. A lot of fighters, they're not even worried about. They said not worried about the O. I'm not worried about the O. But a lot of times your conversation makes me feel like you're not being truthful. I'm not saying that you sound deceptive, but a lot of times when people say stuff, deep inside they're like, yeah, I don't really mind. Now, and this is what they're not saying. I don't really mind losing, but I don't, I hope they're hoping. I hope I don't lose my O, nothing like that. Instead of just saying, that I got to work harder. There may be a fighter out there that's better than me. There may be a fighter that's better than me at my weight class, so I got to make myself so there's no fighter better than me. But there's always going to be a fighter that's better than you. Yes, we're going to have nothing but draws. And how would that look if all the fighters was completely equal? If all these fights and all these fight callers and all these boxers was correct when they say that everything's 50-50. Because that's one of the scenarios. I don't never have the 50-50. I always tell you guys, I said there ain't no 50-50. There's no 50. There's no 50-50. I mean, call it what you want to call it, but there's no 50-50. There's gonna be a winner. There's gonna be a winner up in here. So there's no 50-50. So give the 50-50 to somebody who just don't know. Or just, I don't care who's fighting. It ain't no 50-50 fight. Somebody's gonna come out a winner. Because all these 50-50 fights, there haven't been any draws with these people calling these fights 50-50. And if they were, where everybody feel good about it? Do you feel good about it if it was a 50-50 fight? No, probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Because most of the fights we call out 50-50, we'll end up saying it was close, but somebody clearly won. So, well, they clearly won. It wasn't close. So boxing, the language in boxing is so... It's so shady, just, oh yeah, you could call it, you could say that either way, went this way. Somebody won, somebody lost. There's every once in a while there's a close fight because there's 12 rounds. And because of superstitions, which is dumb, because of superstition, they're not going to have like a 13 round, which they should. The 13th round should be considered like the championship round. That would make people. I mean, can you imagine? You imagine how good fights would be if we had a 13 round. Yep. If we had a 13 round, that fight, that 13th round would be fire because especially if you have a fight where the fighters are thinking that it's 50-50. Oh yeah, I think it's 6-6. I think he won 6, I won 6. So we got to go out there and fight. Man, we're going to have some 13 round knockouts. Yep. That's what we're going to have. Some 13th round knockouts. Or just some real scrapping in the 13th round if we move to like the 13 rounders. A lot of people have brought that into question instead of going 15 because 15 is a so-called odd number, right? You usually don't get a draw out of a 15 round fight. It's hard to get a draw. You have to make every round even. Every round. You can't have one different round. All of them have to be even. Because if you go back and forth, if you go 10-9, 9-10, 10-9, 9-10, if you do that all the way out to the fight, there's going to be a winner. The first person who got the 10 is going to be the winner. right? It's going to be 8 rounds to 7. That's what it's going to be. 8 rounds to 7, right? But I would think that we need to do something to clean the slate up just a little bit. I would say just to clean it up a little bit, so that we can carry on with boxing in a manner that we want to carry on boxing. You know what I mean? So we want to do boxing the way that we want to do boxing, not just this BS way that they're doing it, or just, I don't know. Somebody has to let me know. So if you know, please allow me, or please explain to me how these fighters gain professional license to box. I need somebody to explain that to me. Somebody who's not a fighter, don't have an amateur career, that have boxing license. Somebody explain to me where you had fighters that couldn't even get boxing license because of things that happened to them, like physical things, they got knocked out or whatever. So your eyesight ain't good enough. My eyesight ain't good enough, but I know how to throw my hands. I know how to defend myself, and I can see my opponent. And if you're talking about boxing, how good does your eyesight have to be? When you're in the ring, there's probably no more than 22 feet, something like that at the most. How good does your eyesight have to be? You got to be able to see 25 feet, right? You got to be able to see clearly for 25 feet. So if you can't see clearly for 25 feet, you're in bad shape. I'm just saying, because if you're going to take something, if you're going to force feed us something, then I would like to have something to wash it down with. If you're force feeding me these boxes, I'm not paying for this fight. If this is the headliner right here, and then they come off, how you come off of ranking somebody because they beat a fighter that's not, he's not in the top tier of boxing, but you feel you're going to rate, I don't know, but it sounds like to me that somebody, sounds like to me that they're up to something. They meaning whoever they are. I'm not picking on anybody specifically, but I'm just saying that it sounds like to me that they're up to something in which they are everywhere and they are always up to something. The people that are, whoever they are, like the they people, they're always up to something. That's what they do. That's all they do. Yeah, I was just watching, I forget the name of the, is it Generations or what is it, Evolution? I forget, but it's not, I was going to say it was Matrix, but no, it's actually the Terminator. So Terminator, I was watching, I think it's the last Terminator movie, came out in 2015. But I was just watching that movie, man. It just made me think a lot about just watching that movie. I started, thinking a lot about I don't really trust the whole time travel type of thing. But I was just thinking, that story can go on forever. And that story is not necessarily about even the people that they're talking about. That story could be just as easy to be about you. Because it might be an event that you did that caused all that to happen, that we all had. So you think about it, everybody has to do the same type of things, which kind of flaws the movie, but I don't want to send it in that direction. That everybody has to, like, even if you're driving on the road, you have to make a certain turn, you have to do something specifically, because if you alter anything, you alter the time, then the story changes. You can still have the same result, but you change something in somebody else's life. Just like if you're rushing to get somewhere. Like you're rushing, you running people off the street, or you speeding, you going, you passing on the right lane and all that. What you just did is you altered somebody's life without even knowing it. Their attitude for that day, you might have changed that. You just gave them a new story that they wasn't going to have. And also, like they might have had something on their mind that they was going to talk about when they got home. Now you erase that. Now they're talking about you. It might have been something important. So, like I said, I'm a thinker, and you guys should know. You guys better know that by now. That I think I don't bring everything out at once, because everything. If we talk about something, the issue is not settled. Just like in this boxing, the issue is never like settled. It's never settled. That's why they always have debates. Even when they talk about like Muhammad Ali and all this, the GOATs, the greatest and all that, the pound for pound, is that those discussions are never ended. The only part about the pound for pound, I can say that, the pound for pound discussion it's already ended for me, because there's only one pound for pound. There's no new pound for pound. There's no Mayweather. None of these people. There's no pound for pound. There's no pound for pound. People in Ali's time called him the greatest. Ali called Sugar Ray Robinson the greatest. He's the greatest. But then, if you go all the way back to Jack Johnson, he could be the greatest. You understand? Maybe you don't understand, but I'm trying to get you to open up to understand a little bit differently. But your fighter, that fighter that you claim fame for, that they might not even claim the fame, but you claim fame for him. He's a bum. A freaking bum. All of them are bums because of what's going on right now. They're all bums. Sorry. All bums. Whether you like it or not. Did you guys see anything, any discrepancies over the fights over the weekend? Anything? Good heart. You see, and I didn't want have Venetian. I didn't throw him underneath the bus last week. But what I was saying is that it may be his last. It just might be his last go at it. He gets stopped, but so it might be his last go. I was saying that it might be his last go. Wood, we had Laura. Wood had to go back to packing over to England. Smith, I never have Smith. I'm not interested in anybody named Smith. And Cully went out there. Is Cully? Is that? No, that's not Cully. Who was that guy? For anybody who's in there, who's the guy with the funny name? Kind of like stocky, like real stocky guy that got the knockout over the weekend. It was funny. Friday, he actually got the knockout Friday. I just don't have his name. I'll check. Let me look through these results and maybe I can see who it was. It's fun. These guys, these people are coming out. They're coming out of the woodwork. They're coming out from everywhere. I guess a lot of my guys didn't like my title. They didn't like the fact that their guys was being called names. I called all these guys bums. So they didn't like it. So, oh well. So we'll discuss probably the next time. We'll probably discuss, more about the fights. Some of the fights, because I want you guys' take on the fights. And I didn't get a chance to get you guys' takes on the fight, so we're gonna see. But Mosley Jr. went out there and got him a little unanimous decision, right? The Holmes fight was it wasn't like an exciting fight, but I could see that. One thing I liked about the Holmes fight is that the discipline for this tall guy, he could probably go somewhere. He's just early in his career, but he could probably do something. Because one thing he really is that he was showing is no frustration, and that he's disciplined. He'll keep his ones and twos going, and he'll keep you at a distance. Villarreal, he could be better. He could be good. But what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to clean up the wide shots. Too many wide shots. He throws a lot of wide shots, and he's going to have to find a way to work underneath a jab by double jabbing or stepping and slipping. So he's going to have to get used to taking some kind of steps, like full steps, half steps, quarter steps, turning, a step, and then maybe going to the body, or something like that. He's going to have to work his way. He can't fight on the outside. You're just not tall enough. If you're going to fight these guys that is that tall, a guy's just like over 6 feet, like 6'2", 6'3". He looked more like he was like 6'3". They're putting him at 6'2", but he's looking more like he's 6'3", and you're looking at I think super welterweight, right? So yeah, but that was super welterweight. That was good. I mean, I'd give Holmes credit. It was a good job. I don't know who they put up as far as his picture though, because that's definitely not what he looks like. I don't even know if either one of them look like their pictures. They just put up any pictures they could find. They put up, because the fighters on the headline on one of these things don't look nothing like. Absolutely nothing like what they should. Oh, so this fighter I was looking for, that was that Scooby. So Scooby is the fighter I was looking at. The lightweight fighter, yeah. He went in there and got his hands out. Out of laying Bezos, Chamberlain with the KO, Vargas with the total. That was the weekend before though, but that was the weekend before. That was the total domination. Yeah, he got his ass whooped. He's trying to collect belts. Oh, yo, you lightweight fighters, when y'all move up like that, you guys are funny. You guys are trying to be belt collectors. Oh, I'm a belt collector. I'm just coming in to collect my belt. But yeah, I'm gonna just I wanted this to be more of an interactive thing, because all the information I have, I can talk more about it if I get questions and stuff like that. So this is an interactive show. It's not. I'm not just doing I don't do boxing reports and stuff like that. So yeah, it is what it is on that. So I'm gonna get up out of here, and I appreciate my brother. I appreciate y'all thumbs up and stuff. You guys came through and gave the thumbs up. I still appreciate that. But anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. I got things to do, so I could always hold up, but I'd rather get my things done. If you guys don't want to come through, then I can get my things done. You can ask Eagle what happened later.